Do you know what happens to your bank account when the power grid fails for 6 months? Do you know what happens to your car, your phone, and every piece of modern technology you own when a wall of charged solar particles hits Earth's magnetic field at 1,000,000 miles per hour? Do you know that this exact scenario already happened once in 1859? And the only reason it didn't end civilization is because civilization wasn't plugged in yet? We are plugged in now. I spent days researching this after coming across the 1859 event, and what I found genuinely kept me up at night. Every single thing your family depends on runs on electronics, and the sun doesn't care. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what a repeat of the 1859 Carrington event does to modern America, and the specific low-cost steps that protect your family when every screen goes dark simultaneously. Because if this happens, and you haven't prepared, there is no warning, no second chance, and no grid coming back online next week. Here's what nobody tells you about solar storms. They don't announce themselves. The 1859 Carrington event, the largest geomagnetic storm ever recorded, gave telegraph operators about 18 hours of warning from the first visible aurora before the full impact hit. 18 hours. That's your prep window in a modern repeat scenario. Except today, instead of telegraph wires melting, you're looking at the entire North American power grid going down. Simultaneously, NASA has estimated that a Carrington-level event today would cause $1 to $2 trillion in damage in the first year alone and take up to a decade to fully repair. A decade without power. Your refrigerator, your furnace, your water pump, your car's computer system, your phone, your bank's servers, all of it exposed. Most people get this completely wrong and think a solar storm is just a stronger version of a power outage. It isn't. A standard power outage damages nothing. The grid just goes dark and comes back. A Carrington-level geomagnetic storm induces massive electrical currents directly into long conductive lines, power lines, pipelines, fiber optic cables. It doesn't just turn the grid off, it burns out the transformers. And here's the part that will surprise you. The U.S. has roughly 2,000 high-voltage transformers that are custom-built, weigh up to 400 tons each, and take 12 to 18 months to manufacture under normal conditions. We don't keep spares. Nobody does. This is where it gets deadly. When those transformers burn out, the grid doesn't restart. It has to be rebuilt. And rebuilding it takes years, not days, not weeks. The Texas freeze in 2021 showed what 4 days without power does to an American state. Now multiply that by 500. So what do you actually do? First, a Faraday cage for your most important electronics. A Faraday cage is just a metal enclosure that blocks electromagnetic fields. You don't need to buy anything special. A metal garbage can with a tight-fitting lid from Home Depot, about $30, lined with cardboard so your electronics don't touch the metal, stores a hand crank radio, a backup phone, a solar charger, and a portable battery bank safely through an EMP or solar event. Put your critical backups in there today. A hand crank emergency radio, the Midland ER310, about $40 on Amazon. Lets you receive weather and emergency broadcasts when every powered device around you is dead. Second, cash. Your ATM runs on electricity. Your card reader runs on electricity. After a Carrington event, every digital transaction system in the country goes offline simultaneously. The families who have $500 in small bills stored at home, 5s and 10s, can still buy food from the gas station that has a manual register and a generator. The ones who can't buy anything. This is the part that almost nobody in the survival community is talking about, and it might be the most important thing in this entire video. The thing survival channels never mention about a long-term grid-down scenario is water. Your municipal water system runs on electric pumps. When the grid fails, water pressure drops within hours and stops within days in most American cities. A hand pump well, a gravity-fed water filter, or a stored 55-gallon water barrel, about $40 at any farm supply store or Amazon, becomes the single most important asset your household has. The Sawyer squeeze filter at $30 on Amazon handles biological contamination from any freshwater source. These two items together give your family water independence when the taps run dry. And here's the part that will surprise you about the timeline. FEMA's own planning documents acknowledge that a Carrington-level event would overwhelm every emergency response system in the country simultaneously. There is no cavalry coming. There is no FEMA truck rolling down your street in week 2. Your family's survival in the first 30 days is entirely on what you have before day 1. Everything I just told you, that's only half the story. The part most survival channels never cover, that's coming next. And trust me, you need to hear it. But today, right now, do one thing. Find a metal container in your home, line it with cardboard, and put your backup hand crank radio and a charged power bank inside it. That's your Faraday cage. It costs nothing extra if you already have those items. And it's the difference between having communication after a solar event and being completely blind. So tell me, if the grid went down tonight and stayed down for 6 months, what's the one thing in your house you're most grateful you have? Drop it in the comments below.